Honorable members, clearly I've listened to the views of all parties, and I think it is in the interest of all of us and the people of South Africa that we postpone and allow time to the Treasury to finalize whatever they need to finalize. You wanted certainty. Executive has given us the date of 12 March to come and present.
It's this announcement that threw the spanner in the works. Political parties reacted to the delay of the budget speech.
As the ANC, in terms of the proposal to increase VAT, we are not entirely in support of that, but there's a mechanism to get us out of the challenge we are facing, that our borrowing capacity has been exhausted. That is the challenge that we are facing.
And what we have been doing is looking at how we can reduce the cost of government to make it lower. So, for instance, I've refused to take new cars. I'm driving ministers' cars from 2 ministers ago that have got over 200,000 kilometers on the clock. I know it's not good enough for Mr. Trollip and Action SA, but nonetheless I think it's a commitment that we're not going to waste money on new cars. We'll use what we've got and try and make do with that. So whilst the cabinet may be larger, we have to look at innovative ways to be able to shrink that and make it smaller.
So there is no government, because if you don't adopt budget, it's clear the government has collapsed. Today we have witnessed the government of national unity, a coalition, grand coalition of DA and ANC, collapsing in front of South Africa, something that we said to all of you that it will not last. We will never agree to increase of 2% on VAT from 15% to 17%. And that's why they are scared to come here.
This day is actually quite a shocker. We are really shocked. This is in the past 30 years, to have a day like this is a serious indication of the crisis that this country is facing. This country has got no leadership. This is what we are facing. We are saying, if we say we have democracy, let democracy come and exercise itself here. This is a theater of politics. Let the Minister of Finance come and say whatever he wanted to say.
One analyst is not surprised that the parties within the GNU could not reach sufficient consensus on the budget.
First of all, I'm not taken aback by the turn of events. I saw it coming because we're talking about a coalition arrangement that is drawn across the political spectrum. So we're talking about political parties that are having different political persuasions, right? To me, this is an ideological issue as well.
An analyst says consensus is fundamental to ensure the GNU works. Clause 19 of the Statement of Intent talks about the procedures when differences arise within the GNU, and asked if such mechanisms could not be used before the budget. This is what Breakfast had to say.
Those political parties who signed off that Statement of Intent don't speak the same language. Who interprets those clauses, those provisions? Because the ANC has its own interpretation. The same goes to the DA. I think they just need to sort that out in terms of, and also how do you interpret that? You see, now you are reading it verbatim, word for word. Does one interpret it literally, textually, or you look at the context? And yeah, it's a very complicated matter.
Meanwhile, the budget is expected to be delivered in 3 weeks. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.